Okay, let's start working with layout. I've opened Blend already, and I'm going to switch over to the Projects tab on the Welcome screen, and this time I'm going to open the project. I need to open it from my Assets folder that was created for me when I installed the Total Training software. In the Project Files, Part 1, Lesson 2, I'm going to open the Layout Tutorial project. Now once the project opens, I'm going to use the Pan tool so I can see it a little bit better. What I have here is I've got my window, and I've got 6 controls that I want to lay out, numbered from 1 to 6. The most basic layout container that we have available is the canvas. The canvas is the control that application designers and UI designers are most familiar with because it's the oldest and most basic control. As soon as I'm over a new layout container, you'll see text telling me that I need to Alt drag to move the element into the layout container. By tapping the Alt key, now my number 1 control is part of the canvas, which is visible over here in the object tree. I'm going to go ahead and bring the first 3 elements into my layout container. And now we can take a look at how it behaves. The canvas, being the most basic container, really has no concept of layout other than position. So as I resize the canvas, the elements on the canvas don't actually move in any way. By default, the canvas's property is set such that it will draw outside the canvas, so even when the canvas isn't large enough to contain all the buttons, they're still rendered. This property is in the Property Inspector if you want to change it. The property is Clip to Bounds. As soon as I check that, now as I resize the canvas, the buttons disappear. Again, this is the most basic of layout containers. It doesn't offer any functionality for moving the elements around outside of code or explicit control. We're going to take a look at some of the other layout containers that the Windows Presentation Foundation makes available to see how they work. The first of these is going to be the Scroll Viewer. When any layout container is right-clicked in the object tree, the menu that's brought up allows you, among other things, to change the layout type. I'm going to convert my grid into a Scroll Viewer. A Scroll Viewer is a layout container that can only have one child. By default, a grid is created for you as a child of the Scroll Viewer, and then all of the elements are inserted into it. The Scroll Viewer, like the canvas, doesn't have a concept of repositioning the elements, but if the elements take up too much space, the Scroll Viewer provides a scroll bar for you, so when the application is run, you can drag the scroll bar around to change the portion of the Scroll Viewer that you're displaying. The Scroll Viewer isn't really the control that I want to use at this time, so I'm going to press Ctrl Z a couple times and switch back to my canvas.